I think the first and foremost is that the change to work from home for 100% of the employee population. Even in the best laid business continuity plans, that was not a scenario for a prolonged period of time. So I think that was one major change. The second change, I would say, would be the ability of our employees to adapt to the disruption. While we enabled everybody from our side, the fact that everyone was able to adapt to the change and deliver to the expectations was the second big thing. And I think the third major change which we saw was where our employees were called to also face changes in other aspects of their lives. So the children stopped going to school, and the homeschooling, for example, has started. So there are multiple challenges as an employee that they are facing. And I think in many ways, the change agility they are displaying is commendable.
Sure that you would agree that this has introduced a massive space for innovation and collaboration. And specifically for digital transformation, I would say, we are in the phase of accelerated digital transformation. Many of the organizations has plans to move ahead in the digital era, but this pandemic has made us to do that swiftly. So what are your plans in the way of innovative collaboration? What would you say? How this is important, and what are your plans?
Sure. I think the fact that we are having this conversation on Zoom, which is a collaboration platform, is in itself a demonstration of the collaboration tools which are at play. And I think both at an individual level, as an employee, and as an organization level, innovation and collaboration are going to be very critical during this disruption and post the disruption. From an innovation perspective, it is also a function of how can we still trust our employees to deliver what they are expected to deliver, and how can we enable them with the tools so with which they are able to kind of work with teams and with their colleagues, with their managers, and continue to deliver what is expected out of them. So IT infrastructure readiness is an area of focus for most organizations, including mine. Investment in collaboration tools is another area. On the innovation side, I think necessity is the mother of innovation. Invention, but I would say innovation as well. So, this is also the time where organizations can invest in being innovative with a view of getting the best out of the talent which we employ. And innovation in our organization, particularly, we are setting up an innovation hub, which will be producing a lot of cutting edge technologies and products for our organization, both in Asia as well as in North America.
Moving ahead, as you as a leader have seen many changes, and you have led your organization through this crisis and still leading it. Do you see a massive transformation in style of leadership a little bit? Are there some perspective on which now leaders are more concerned or paying much importance and focus? What are those major areas do you think that the style of leadership has changed?
I would say the biggest impact on leadership is that this disruption has brought out the vulnerability of both the organization as well as the individual, both at an employee level and at a leadership level. The fact that you can be vulnerable and not be ashamed of it or not hide it. The fact that you experience the same change which everyone else is experiencing and go through the learning. And at the same time, because you are a leader, there is an expectation that you will provide guidance and direction. The ability to do that in the face of massive disruption, in many ways, is the true test of leadership. another thing which is going to become very critical is how does leadership be an enabling phenomena? How do you enable other leaders? How do you enable the organization, enable the employees to deliver their best? So peer leadership is going to be very critical. The ability to collaborate is going to be very critical, and the ability to embrace change, because every day there is something new coming up which has not been experienced before. So how do you embrace that change and continue to march ahead? I would believe is something which the leadership is getting challenged with and has the opportunity to demonstrate. Also, the fact that you are dealing with a workforce which is not sitting in front of you. So the ability to lead virtually with a lot of empathy and trust is what is going to be defining feature of leadership now and in the days to come, compared to a command and control structure which had carried on from the industrial age.
What are those things do you think that employees would expect from leadership, and specifically an HR leader, being a people person? What do you think?
I think the first and foremost thing the employee would expect from a leader would be understanding. There are so many changes I mentioned which are happening at an individual level. So the ability to understand the change journey everyone is on and modulate and fine-tune the requirements of the role and the expectations is something, because every employee does want to put in their best and deliver. It is up to the leader how they are able to understand the changes which are happening in the environment and support the employee in that. I think from an HR leader or the HR function, the expectation right now would be for support, both at an emotional level, where the organization is providing mental health support in terms of various employee assistance programs. Also, how can we enable our employees? They continue to work from home. Is there some investment one can make in infrastructure and readiness for them in terms of helping them with a very different cost structure they face themselves today? I would say employees would also expect to be trained, because many of them may not be used to working virtually. So what are the good practices of being able to deliver in an efficient manner from their homes like they would at work? There would also be an expectation that training and development continues in a digital format, which they can invest in. And we are doing a lot of that, both in domain, in behavioral, as well as in technology, and employees would also expect, continuous communication of what lies ahead. Because there is so much of change going on, there's a lot of anxiety. And I think organizations which communicate and over-communicate ensure that they minimize any kind of surprise for their employees and ensure the employee morale remains high in these uncertain times.
The three major points I can take away is that employees would expect leaders to be more understanding, more empathetic, and leaders would expect to have a culture around them of open communication and transparency, I would say. And yes, learning and development is a major point, because things are changing very fast, and leaders and trainers to train them, to guide them for the right path. We are talking about learning and development, and especially in the virtual space. So if I would ask you, how do you see the way of learning in the new normal? What would you say?
How do you see the way of learning? If you can repeat your question, please. In the new normal.
Yes.
Well, for one, I see learning being more digital and virtual than before. Earlier, there was an expectation that there would be classroom sessions. I'm sure they will still continue, but the learning will become more virtual and digital and bite-sized learning. In 30 minutes or 1 hour capsules, which employees will be able to take much easily. And also, I would say, be available across different media. People should be able to take learning on their mobile phones. People should be able to log into their computers and dial into a virtual session and things like that. So I expect technology to lead the convergence of the new way of learning in the new normal.
Agility and resilience are two major important aspects. How do you weigh them? How do you see, what importance do you see for both of these values, agility and resilience?
I would say that the ability to constantly innovate and given the different circumstances which are there and deal with them would be the test of agility. From a resilience perspective, I think it would be more in terms of how do you enable your employees to continue to face the challenges with a lot of grit and determination, what kind of resources you can make available to them. In our organization, we have a 24/7 employee assistance line, which gives counseling on multiple aspects, whether it is emotional health, behavior, and other aspects of life where they can reach out to. I would also see this as a time where a lot of experience sharing of is going to help because everyone has an individual journey, and how do you at the end of it are able to come across in a I would say successful manner would be critical. From a both agility and resilience, as you mentioned, is also a function of a kind of a culture you create, which is more in terms of, a sense of continuity, a sense of continued investment and belief in the employee, and the human spirit is very critical.
I really like this thing that you look very humane in nature to a major cultural perspective. That is really good, and that shows that how you as a leader is applying your humane values in a major perspective for the whole organization. That's really good.
Thank you.
If I ask you, what is that one major advice you would give to each one of people out there to be upbeat, to be motivated, to be get going for what is happening right now? What is that one advice?
I would say it would be believe in yourself and believe in the power of the future. We have over the ages come across many difficult situations and triumphed. There is no reason to believe why we will not be able to put all this behind us. I think at this point in time, it's very important to be optimistic. It's very important to look at the situation with the lens of what is it I can do to make it better, and to keep in close contact with your near and dear ones, and ensure that everyone's emotional health is taken care of. These times have thrown up challenges. They have also thrown up opportunities. How many times did one have the opportunity of spending time at home with the near and dear ones? And I think one should cherish the connections one has as an individual and as a family, and strengthen them, and also strengthen their own belief in the fact that as they progress forward, they will be able to overcome the challenges and come out winners.
So good to hear that. I mean, these are the words of wisdom. That believe in yourself, be optimistic, be grateful for what you have today, and cherish the time with your near and dear. So you are creating possibilities and disruptions. That's amazing. You are accepting your challenges, looking for opportunities. That's great.